Hi guys, so for a little while now I've been hoarding books from my parents' bookshelves that I want to read. I have read very few of the books I've been hoarding and they've been collecting dust, waiting for a little bit of attention from me. And as most of you will know, I am moving to London at the end of next summer 2016. So I have from January 2016 to about August, September 2016 to read most of these books so that I don't have to steal them from my parents or leave them behind and not read them. And I thought if I shared them with you guys on this channel, then that might give me that push I need to finally get around to reading them, and you guys can let me know which of them you particularly enjoy, and I'll know where to start. So the first book I have here is Ursula K. Le Guin's The Left Hand of Darkness. I have in the past tried to read an Ursula K. Le Guin book, which was The Wizard of Earthsea. I read about half of it, just couldn't really get into it, so never bothered finishing it. This one, however, I've been wanting to try it for ages now. It is a science fiction novel set on a planet where gender doesn't exist. It is a true classic of the science fiction genre and I cannot wait to read it, so I need to actually do that. Next I have another pretty popular modern classic, I would consider it, and that is Zen and the Art of Motorcycle Maintenance by Robert M. Pirsig. And it's about one man's search for himself. I've just heard a lot of people say that this has had quite an impact on their life. It's one of those books that seems to pop up in the periphery of my vision every now and then, and I really need to read it. Next one I have actually started before, and I've got to about page 50 but just never got any further than that. Even though I was enjoying it, I don't know why I never dedicated myself to it, and that is The Name of the Rose by Umberto Eco. And this is a detective mystery novel, and the main character, the detective, is a monk. It had very Sherlockian vibes for me, so I was really enjoying it again. Don't know why I didn't continue on with it. It has been made into a film with Sean Connery, if you can't tell, and yeah, I just really need to get back to this one. Next is Myths from Mesopotamia, Creation, the Flood, Gilgamesh and Others, and these are, just like the title implies, myths from Mesopotamian ancient history that I've just never read. I know some Mesopotamian myths, but I've never actually read a book like this, which has a collection of the originals together. They're over 4,000 years old, and yeah, just needs to be read. The other one in this pile that I've also started before and got to page 32 apparently, was enjoying it, don't know again why I didn't dedicate myself to do it. I'm sure you've all done this before, start books and then just not dedicated your time to them and you've just kind of forgotten about them, and this is Günter Grass's The Tin Drum. This is a book originally written in German, and it follows a man who is a dwarf and he is telling us his story from prison. It's got slight magic realism elements in it, it's a bit wacky and out there. It's set between 1925 and 1955. It's quite a major time for German as well as worldwide history, and yeah, I just really want to read this one. Well, I don't know what it is about my dad that he has to pick all of his editions of books have to have tiny print. I then have Ali Smith's The Accidental. I've been wanting to read this since Lauren over at Reads and Daydreams recommended it to me. It's about a family who are on holiday and they have a guest. Each person in this family thinks that one of the other members of the family knows this guest, that this woman is a friend of one of their other family members, but actually none of them know her. It sounds really weird. I really like Ali Smith's writing, and this was shortlisted for the 2005 Man Booker Prize. I then have one that my mum in particular wanted me to read, and it is Intifada, Zionism, Imperialism and the Palestinian Resistance by Phil Marshall, and this is a non-fiction book about the persecution of Palestinians, the history of the conflict between Israel and Palestine, and just a really good book if you really want to understand what the situation is between these two countries and what's going on. This was published a while ago, so it's not completely up to date. It was published in 1989, so yeah, obviously not that up to date, but really good if you want to know the history of the conflict. And last but not least, I have Jane Reese's Wide Sargasso Sea, which is a novel based on Charlotte Bronte's Jane Eyre, and it is the story of Mr. Rochester's first wife, the one he locked up in the attic. It is her story from her perspective. I believe it's a bit of a feminist novel, and I only hear good things about this, even from people that adore Jane Eyre. They love this too. Really good companion book, so I'm really excited to read this one. And that is my borrowed book TBR for 2016. Hopefully I get to most of these books. There aren't any that I don't want to read very soon, but you know what it's like. But there's a lot of books out there, so I keep picking up other ones. So please, please push me to read these ones, and I will see you all again in my next video. Bye guys.